Good day, Golden Key members. Thank you so much for joining us at this new Motivation, Self-Discovery and Mental Wellness webinar. We welcome you to this session. Kindly put your name and surname in the chat function and tell us where you are logging in from. We would like to personally welcome you. This is a Golden Key Southern Africa webinar for new motivation, self-discovery and mental wellness. And we are going to be covering a few topics this afternoon, so we welcome you to this session. Thank you for Marika Bain for joining us from Kempton Park. Let's see who else is joining us this afternoon. Welcome to this Golden Key webinar. This webinar, new motivation, self-discovery and mental wellness. Let's see, Makado Mulazi joining from Nelspruit. Welcome, Imang in Gaborone, fantastic. And in this webinar, we are going to be describing and explaining the importance of self-knowledge and mental wellness. Also explaining the connection between self-knowledge, mental health, and happiness, and the impact of mental wellness and self-knowledge on the quality of your life. So we are looking forward to the content that the presenters will render to us. Welcome, Linda from Cape Town. Amorai Botha from Gauteng. We've got a good representation this afternoon. Mani Botha from South Africa, Cape Town. I see a few more people joining. Feel free to put your name and surname in the chat function. We would love to welcome you personally to this webinar. We're looking forward to the content. I see Gift has joined us, Nokawe. I see Sharnay logging in. Let's give everyone a few moments just to log in, and then we will go over to our presenters. Thank you so much for attending this webinar today. It's a new motivation, self-discovery and mental wellness webinar. For those that have just joined, I just want to make it known that we are going to be conducting a mentee survey at the end of the session. So please don't log off before the end of the session. If you're logging in from your laptop, you'll see at the top of your screen there are 3 dots that say more actions. On the left of those 3 dots is the Mentimeter icon. If you click on that icon, it will take you to our short survey. If you are logging in from your cell phone, kindly go to www.menti.com and enter the following code 65525584, and it will take you to our survey. Welcome, Francois Greef from Bloemfontein. Without further ado, we are going to be introducing you to our speakers this afternoon. Neo Moselani is a certified mental wellness coach, award-winning leader, global speaker, author and CEO at Architect Your Life Global Institute. Joining him will be Mani Botha, neurolinguistics practitioner, leader, educational content creator, and executive director at Brian Tribe. We also have Francois Greef today with us, who is a certified personal development trainer, leader, and speaker. Attendees, enjoy the session with us. I'm going to be handing over to Mani Botha. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. What a wonderful privilege and honor being here with you guys today. And it is such an honor to know that you are investing time in your personal self-development. So well done. If I were you, I would just pat myself on the back and say, well done for spending time and investing in your own personal growth. So from my side, it is such an honor also taking part and being part of New Motivation and what Neo is also doing there. And also with Francois there, it is such an honor to have you on the team, to know that you are instilling values and also have the heart to help people to better themselves. So if you are attending today just to see what this is all about, you will be really happy and you will be so fulfilled walking out here with something that you would take in your heart and say, I'm so glad that I attended this course. So yes, be prepared to learn a lot, to experience a lot, and just to understand the wellness and the well-being of who you are as a person. Now, y'all, from my side, it is such an honor to know that people are still investing time, because you will be with yourself until the day that you pass away. So the greatest investment that you can have is to build into yourself. You know, when you fly, sometimes the people say that if there's a loss of cabin pressure, this little gedoentjie would fall out of the air and with the oxygen mask, and you must put it on your own face first before you help other children and other people and people acting like children, you know. What's the reason that you should put it on your own face first? Because if you are lying passed out in the middle of the airplane, you can't help anybody. So you must take care of yourself first. And it is in the greatest intent and with the best way of saying this, me first, in a humble way. Because if you are in a good space, emotionally and also mentally, you will be in a happy space. And from that, you can serve the world. So welcome to this wonderful hour that we will be spending together to assist you with the value of mental health, happiness, and how that can assist you in being the best version of yourself. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you one of my dearest friends also there, and also a very highly influential person in young people's lives and also nationwide. No, it is such an honor you have came from what you did already and what values and also the knowledge that you instill into young people's lives. So Neo Moselani, I had the privilege of also knowing him for a long time now, and what he has accomplished and what he's doing there, from the humble way that you are doing this and also knowing that you can stand firm in the knowledge that you have. Such an honor to introduce you to all our members there. So Neo Moselani, I'm going to give over to you, and you are more than welcome just to talk to our wonderful members there. Neo, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming in to this wonderful webinar. And I want to thank the team as well, the Golden Key team. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity that you gave us to spend with the members. And I just would like to say this, I'm also a member of the Golden Key. I remember it was about 6 or 7 years ago when I was a student at the University of the Free State. I was actually one of the best performers by then, and I became a member. So I'm so glad that I'll be spending time with other members, and I'll be sharing some knowledge talking about self-development, which is self-understanding and mental wellness. Now, just to start, I think we can all agree that you cannot give what you do not have. It's impossible to say you're going to give something if you do not have it. So whatever you're going to invest, whatever you're going to give to the world, it means you have it. It means you have plenty of it. And if you only have a little and you want to give it away, you're going to be left with absolutely nothing. This is the reason why self-development is so important, because none of us on earth can give what we do not have. So if you say you want to invest in something, and you want to put your money in something, basically what you're saying is that you have the money to do this thing, right? You're saying you have the money to do it. Otherwise, what money are you going to invest? There's nothing to invest if you have nothing inside of you. This is why we always, each and every single day of our lives, we have to develop ourselves. We have to learn, and we just have to grow. And growth is just the principle of life itself. When you look at life, one thing you can learn about life is that anything that does not grow dies. Anything that does not grow dies. It cannot be fruitful. It cannot be productive. It cannot produce anything of value. So the moment you grow your mind, you grow yourself, your knowledge, you grow your skills, you grow in every area of your life. Let me tell you, you will see the good fruits that you'll bear. You'll be productive. You'll be able to add value in the society. And this is one of the beautiful things about life. The more you invest in yourself, the more you can invest in others. And the more you invest in others, the more actually you become happy. And when you see this influence, when you see yourself doing lovely work in the community, it also actually helps you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. Now I want to say this. As we go into understanding the self-discovery program and the mental wellness program that we have, I want you to understand this, that you are the architect of your own life. Literally, your own life is literally in your hands. It is your own responsibility. Of course, you might have the guardians to help you. You might have your professors to help you. You might have your parents to help you. You might have people around you to help you. But the thing is, these people cannot actually help you when they don't know what to help you with. So you are the one who's supposed to guide people in terms of what the kind of help you need. What is it that you need in your life? How can they help you? Everybody can come to you and say, we are here to help you. But at the end of the day, your life is your responsibility. And I'm saying today that you are the architect of your life. So my question to you today is, what is it that you are building with your life? What is it that you are doing with your life? Because each and every day we are building our lives. We are doing something in our lives. And the question is, what is it that you are doing? What is it that you are building? Does this come from the purity of your own heart? Or are you influenced by the whole world or by the opinions of other people? Or does this actually come from you? Does it come from your personal desires? Does it come from your personal goals? Or does it come from society? The most dangerous thing that is currently happening in young people's life is that they are strongly influenced by the society to a point that they forget their own values. They forget their own goals. And now they compare themselves with everybody else and they fail to appreciate themselves, their own goals, and their own journey. And this is one of the reasons why many young people commit suicide. One of the reasons why many people are actually depressed is people have lost the sense of meaning of their own lives and they are focusing on everybody else. They're focusing on the world. They are focusing on on everything else that is happening out there. And I want to say this to you. You can never master the world if you don't master yourself. The beginning of all things is self-knowledge. If you know who you are, you know your purpose, you know your identity, you know the value that you can add in the world. So self-discovery is extremely important as an architect of your own life. And I said that it's your responsibility to build your own life. The question that I'm going to ask you is this: what is it that you're going to build with your own life if you don't know who you are? I mean, what are you going to do if you don't know who you are? What is it that you are doing on a daily basis? You know, I remember we had a great event, a big event, and I was speaking to many professionals. And I was standing there and people were happy about their accomplishment. This is what I achieved. This is what I'm doing. This is what I did. And I stood there and I said, who are you? Can you please tell us, who are you? And majority of the people were looking at me like, I'm also not sure about who I am. Actually, they was looking at me like, but who am I? I've been occupied with mastering the world, doing all of these things, but who am I? Do I actually know myself? Do I actually know what are kind of things that add value in my life, that makes me really happy, that makes me enjoy life? Who am I? And people were just standing there looking at me. So here's the thing. As the architect of your own life, the first step to building your own life, effectively transforming your life, is understanding yourself. You have to know who you are. This is the first step to actually living a successful life. This is the first step to everything, because self-knowledge literally it defines everything in your life. Everything in your life depends on your self-knowledge, your profession, your personal life, your relationships. Every single thing is influenced by how well you know yourself, right? So if you say you want to be a lawyer, it means you know who you are. This is what you want to do with your life. This is what you love. This is what you're passionate about. Therefore, you are driven towards that thing. So the first step to effectively building your life and transforming your life is knowing who you are. And I'm telling you, the moment you know who you are, as an architect of your own life, you're going to build something great with your life. I mean, let's think about, for example, let us look at all the construction people, all the architect and everything. The moment you start to build a house, or when you want to build a home, you first have to sit down and plan this house. You have to plan it. And then once you have an idea in your head of what kind of house you want to build, you then go to an architect, you explain to them, what is it that you want? And they put it on paper. They make it practical, right? They put it on paper. They measure how many bricks are going to be needed. They measure all the materials that is going to be needed so that this project can be a success. After they put down the plan down, they discuss it with you and you agree. Now they go to the construction company and say, hey, I think we can start building. But here's the interesting thing. Isn't it interesting that everybody knows what they are doing? They know what they specialize in. So this one is doing this thing, the plumber is doing the plumbing, the person who's responsible for bricklaying is responsible for that. Everyone is at their position doing what they're supposed to do. And this comes from knowledge of, I know what is my responsibility right here, and I'm going to focus on my responsibility. So as a person, you have to know yourself. You have to know your skills, your specialty, your passion, your interest. You have to know all of these things that make you happy. And this is the reason why we came into agreement and a partnership with the Golden Key to say, hey, we have a wonderful program of understanding yourself, and we just want to give it to your members. Guess what? And the Golden Keys came and said, you know what, we're going to sponsor this for all our members. Really, it is expensive, but we thank you, Golden Key, for sponsoring this program to make it easy for your members to have access to this wonderful program. We've been training many, many people with this program, and is extremely effective. We focus literally on just helping you discover who you are. And this helps you grow, helps you specialize in your life, especially when you are building your own life. So just if there's something I want you to remember today from me, is this question: what are you building? Do you know what is it that you're doing with your life? And it's amazing. I mean, think about it. Even self-confidence comes from self-knowledge. Have you thought about this? I mean, imagine if you go to someone who doesn't know how to drive and say to them, hey, I want you to drive from New York to California right now. You're going to stress them out. They're going to wait, the traffic. It's risky. It's not okay it's not good. Or coming to someone and say, I need you to drive from Joburg to Cape Town. And they don't know how to drive. They don't have a learner. They don't have a license. They don't have anything. That particular person is not going to be confident at all. Actually, they're going to be stressed throughout the journey. And they're going to make a lot of mistakes because they are not confident in this particular area. But the moment somebody knows how to drive, when they have the knowledge, when they've been practicing, when they have the skill, you can tell them, can you drive from here to another place? And they will happily do it because they are confident in this thing. It's simply because they have the knowledge. When you have knowledge of who you are, you will definitely be confident about yourself. Dr. Miles Monroe said something very interesting. He said that you can have many people applauding you, cheering you up, and telling you how amazing you are. But if you don't acknowledge it, then it is extremely useless, right? So it's about you acknowledging who you are, acknowledging your skills, acknowledging your gifts, acknowledging your passion. Because the problem is, the moment you neglect the true self of who you are, you're gonna have problems mentally. You're gonna feel empty, regardless of the achievement. And I think history has taught us, regardless of what you achieve, if something was not really in your heart, if you never went for something that is in your heart, you will always live with regrets. And that's not what we want for our members. We want our members to live happily, grow happily. People say it's impossible. No, it's not impossible. It's really not impossible. As much as people will say, depression is real. Let me tell you, happiness is also real. It's real. It's out there. It's tangible. It's there. And it's all up to us. It's our responsibility to live it. Not to try and achieve it, but to live it, to make it part of us. And knowing who you are, what you believe in, your goals, your values, everything about yourself just makes it easy for you to enjoy life and just go for what you want in your life. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Francho just to say something also regarding the self-understanding and the mental wellness. Right, I think
Thank you firstly to Neo and can everybody hear me? I just want to firstly just say thank you to Neo and the team just for the opportunity that they've given me just to share a few thoughts regarding self-discovery and mental wellness. But while Neo was actually talking, I was actually thinking, the moment I think we all have gone to a soccer game, to a rugby game, and the moment you actually buy your ticket, there's always a ticket number on that, and it specifies where you need to sit in the stadium. And the same with life also with us. The moment we were born, there was a specific number or place which we were situated to be in. And the moment when you get into the stadium, you have to go and sit on the place which the number indicates on the ticket. And the moment you do not find yourself there, then anybody can come and remove yourself. And that's the same way in life. The moment we don't understand ourselves and know where we fit, we feel misplaced because we're not sitting in the place which we were predestined to sit in life. And that's why we sometimes get a lot of people that are unhappy because they're not sitting in their smooth. That's why that chair that was created for you was just made for you to sit in it. And that's why when I was talking, I was actually thinking about this, getting to your seat. We all have a ticket number. But until we don't get to the ticket number or sit on the chair, which we were predestined for, we will always feel uncomfortable in life. You will go to work unhappy. You will go to your job unhappy because you're not functioning in the seat that was created for you. And just another example also on the self-discovery and mental wellness, when Nell spoke to me about it, and I was actually thinking about it, and a few things just ran through my mind regarding this and the importance thereof. But I just want to quickly make a statement that education or knowledge makes us versatile, and versatility increases our marketability. So the more information I have, the more knowledgeable I am, it increases my marketability because I exactly know who I am. But the statement or the example that I just wanted to make regarding self-knowledge and self-awareness, identity, and mental wellness was also the fact that I was actually thinking about a phone or a vehicle, that the two work hand in hand. And the moment the engine is not in the vehicle, then that car actually means nothing. So you have a body, but you don't have an engine that can take the body to its destination. And the same with self-knowledge and the same with mental wellness. These two work hand in hand. And if the engine, which might be the knowledge with us, because it's something that's inside of us, and then the packaging, which is the body, if these two are not taken care of, then eventually we will never get to the destination which we were predestined for. And that's why I just wanted to use this example quickly. The moment when there's a vehicle or somebody, or you want to go and buy a vehicle, you need to understand that when you look at it, attracted by the outside. But then when you get inside of it, then there's another attraction towards the speed which it can go to how beautiful the functions that it has inside of it. But it can have all the functions inside of it to a certain speed. But if the body is not taken off, then that thing will not move at all. And that's where the mental wellness comes. It becomes important for us to understand that we need to look after our physical being also. Because I was actually making an example the other day to somebody when I had a conversation with them. And I said to them, it's like a house. I can have all the furniture for the house. But if the house is falling apart, then that furniture means nothing. The same would not have all the knowledge, but if I'm not taking care of myself mentally, looking after my work, then the knowledge that I possess means nothing. Because the same as the content container which carries the content also needs to be looked after. And now the same vice versa. The moment when you buy something, you also cognitive of the fact of what is inside of the container. And when people buy, they don't just look at the outside, but the content that you possess on the inside of you. And that's why the knowledge becomes important. That's why you need to constantly educate yourself, increase yourself, and become knowledgeable. And that's quickly just a statement that I actually want to make out of God's word. And it's actually how I built most of my principles on. But Paul actually speaks about it in the book of Proverbs 24, where it says that true wisdom, a house is built, and true understanding, it's established. and knowledge fills its rooms wonderfully so. So that's why we need to understand that through knowledge, we are built as people. We are built through the wisdom. But the moment we don't become knowledgeable and we don't get sufficient information, it actually decreases our value. And that's why I always say to people, the more knowledge you gain in life, the more your value increases in life. The more knowledgeable you become about yourself, the more your value increases. And the same, like I said, vice versa, the more you look after the container that carries the knowledge, you would become employable, or you would reach your destination at the end of the day. And like I used with the example of the vehicle, you would reach the place which you were predestined for. But the moment we do not look after the container and the content, which is also important, we will never reach the place which we were predestined for. And that's why I just wanted to add that, actually, that summary for us to understand. That's why self-discovery, that's why mental wellness becomes extremely important in life. We have a lot of people that go to their jobs unhappy, that struggle with depression. Some of them, it's because they just feel they are misfit, because they're not functioning in who they have been created to be. I'm thinking quickly of a toolbox. Every toolbox has a specific tool inside of it, and every tool is made for a specific reason. If the tool is not used for its purpose, that tool will never fulfill what it was created for. Now, I'm just thinking, if that tool had feelings, how unhappy it would be. It would even make the consumer unhappy, because it's not functioning in what it was created for. Let's take a wheel spinner. If you want to use a wheel spinner and you're not using it on the right nut, you're going to strip the nut. And that's what some of us have become in life. We're stripping certain things which were never created for us. We're causing chaos, actually, in actual sense, because we're not functioning in the place where we were created for. And that's why we need to understand how important it is, where self-knowledge and mental wellness is important. Because otherwise, we will be like that nut and that wheel spinner. And at the end of the day, frustration creeps in, because I'm unable to change the wheel and to put on a new wheel. And I'm sitting there with a flat tire. Some of us are already flat because we're not using the right wheel spinner. We do not know where we fit, which nut we fit onto. Some of us fit onto nuts which are trucks. Some of us to lightweight vehicles, which are small spinners that we need to use. But because I do not know where I fit, I use the constant wrong wheel spinner in life. And that's why these courses are so important, that you need to know, that you need to discover yourself so that you know where you fit. And like I made the example in the beginning, like when you buy your ticket to go and watch the game, you get a specific seat number. So it's important for you to find out where you fit in life. Otherwise, you would become unhappy. You would become discouraged. That's where depression comes in. That's where anxiety comes in, because you're not functioning in who you were created to be. So that's all that I just wanted to share. But it's important, because otherwise I'm going to speak the whole day. But thank you very much. Just in a nutshell. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Furniture. Thank you so much. Highly appreciated. Highly appreciated. And while you were busy speaking, I was thinking about Usain Bolt, and I was thinking that if probably all of us around the world, we know Usain Bolt, and simply because he has reached his ultimate potential when it comes to the track field, 200 meter, 100 meter, he's just the best in the world. But I was thinking to myself, now imagine if you can actually put him in other fields, to say, go play soccer, go do this thing, go do that thing. It's not that he might not be good at it. He can actually work hard, be good at it, but he will not reach the ultimate as much as he reached the ultimate in the field. Now you can take Usain Bolt, put Usain Bolt in the same research with me. I can guarantee you, I'm going to show him flames, because I'm good with research, I'm good with academics. So I will show him flames. But you know what? Take us to the track field, and guess what? He's going to show me flames, because that's where his specialty is. That's where he fits. That's what he does best. And I was thinking, When you know yourself, you know what to do. You know who you are. You know what you are interested in. And this will also help you to be aware of certain areas you need to build yourself, right? I mean, look at the soccer players, Messi, Ronaldo. They are good at this thing. And it's not that other people are not practicing. Other people are actually working hard. They are practicing. I think some actually practice more than them, but they are just there. They are just there. They are just at the top. And it goes with the mind that this is what I do. This is who I am. I'm good at this thing. And that mentality just makes you a great person. It makes you excellent when you do things in your profession, when you do things in your life, and you know who you are, and you know you are good at this area. Let me tell you, your confidence is up there, and it affects your emotions. When you do something that you love, it actually helps you. Now, the world is not going to make it easy for you. That's one thing you need to understand. I mean, I think you've heard this before. Do something that you love. Go for something that you love. But let me tell you, the world is not going to make it easy for you. The world is going to fight against you. But this is why we need to be strong, and this is why we need to have the courage to go through with the course, to go through and just follow our passion. I always say this to all my members, all the people that I train, that you only have one life and one chance. What is it that you are doing with this one life? What is it that you are doing with this one chance? You will never get this chance again. And Dr. Miles Monroe also made a great statement. He said, if you want to see where are the greatest gifts, talents, skills, knowledge, and ideas, he said, go to the graveyards. Because that's where you'll find the greatest gifts and talents. People who are not courageous enough to follow what they believe in their hearts. Therefore, they just shut it off. They said, the society is going to laugh at me. The people are going to misunderstand me. Nobody's going to like me. Everybody's going to look down on me. It's not going to be easy. Of course, the world is not going to make it easy. But this is your life. This is your project. You are the architect here. So focus on knowing yourself and expressing yourself. So with that being said, I'm also going to give over to Mr. Manibota just to share some few thoughts with you.
Thank you so very much, Neo. And also, Francois, thank you for inspiring us from that point of view. If I may add to what you guys are saying there, I hear that we are always talking and also talking about the sports arena and to know your place. And Francois, while you were talking about your place in that stadium, that you know where it is, I was reminded of a wonderful leadership development person also that inspired me. But he's more from the cultural background, Benjamin Zimmer of Zander, Benjamin Zander. Whenever you have the time also to go and see some of his videos. But he is a conductor of an orchestra. Now, while we are talking about these wonderful courses and this wonderful program that you have also, that we have from New Motivation, self-knowledge, if you do not know who you are and where you fit into this, you will always try to figure out what's the reason that you are here on earth. Now, if you know your why, you will find a way. Whereas if you do not know your why, everything will be in your way. Then you will find the excuses. Then you will start to blame people. And technically it boils down to the fact that you do not know who you are through self-knowledge, self-understanding. And that is the process that we want to help you guys understand. Get to know yourself through knowledge. Because that is one of the greatest and one of the best tools in your toolbox that you will have. Now, what is so interesting about Benjamin Zander is he said that the best conductor, the best leader is the person who has learned to turn his back on the crowd. You cannot conduct the orchestra by looking at the crowd the whole time. You have to be focused on what you are doing. You have to know what you are doing in that orchestra. If you are the conductor, Your place is not to play the piano or the violin or the drums or the trumpet. Your place is to conduct. So if you know yourself, what is your strong points, what are your strengths, then you know what to do. And then he also goes further to say that you always, and this is what this workshop and this course and what Neo Motivation is doing, is helping you to understand. You always challenge people out of their comfort zones, never out of their gift zones. Now, how would you know what your gifts are if you are not self-aware, if you do not know where you are going, if you are not finding the connection between your self-knowledge and what you are actually knowing about yourself? He uses the example that he says most often people in life, they challenge themselves. For example, you would see that there is a person playing the violin. Oh, and it's beautiful. But now there's a need in the drum section. So now most companies take the people from the violin section and said, oh, you can play wonderful violin. You know what? We have a need in the drum section. Now they take the violin player and they put them in the drum section. Now with the one move, you just lowered the standard of the violin section as well as the standard of the drum section. Imagine the drum player trying to play violin and the violin, you see? So you always challenge people out of their comfort zones. Guys, you must play better violin. You can do that. Never out of the gift zones. And this is what it is all about. The moment that you are in your flow, and you would hear that is also a great term that one uses nowadays in these times that we are living. Flow is something that comes naturally. It just flows from who you are as a person. The reason that you are created. Flow, while you're in your state of flow, it's as if time stands still. It is just, you know, you've been busy for an hour and when you look like, oh my word, it has been 5 hours. It just flows, time stands still. How do you realize when you are in your flow state, when you are in your optimal way of doing things? And that comes by self-understanding. Now, how does that link to mental health? Guys, the way that you are thinking determines your whole life. Francois, you had a quote there from an age-old book that I also follow, and it says that you must be very careful about the way that you are thinking because it determines your whole life. Now, what's the reason? Your thoughts create. Said, yeah, Mani, I know. No, you don't understand. Your thoughts literally creates. Well, what am I talking about? Let me give you an example. That computer screen or cell phone that you are watching now, did it fall out of heaven? I know some of you guys think that way, but no. Someone thought about it. Then they had the idea and they talked about it. Then they started to manufacture it. You are literally seeing this presentation on someone's thoughts. That chair that you are sitting in, I know that it's comfortable, but it didn't fall out of heaven. Someone thought about it. Then they started to talk about it. Then they planned it. Then they manufactured it. You are literally sitting on someone else's thoughts. The room that you are sitting in, someone thought about it, then they planned it, then they built. You are sitting in someone's thoughts. Even you would have thought. Your mother looked at your father and said, yes, so what are you thinking? And there you are. Be careful with the way that you are thinking, your mental state, because that literally creates reality. Now the question is, what is the reality that you are creating? Because some of you guys sitting there, not knowing who you are, not making time to discover who you are as an individual, self-discovery, self-knowledge. You guys are sitting there thinking that you are your parents' idea of who you are supposed to be. You're sitting there thinking that you are supposed to be something and you do not even know who you are. You are sitting in someone else's, just to echo what Francois is saying, you're sitting in someone else's idea of your seat and you don't fit. And now you think, okay, fine, I know I'm not supposed to be here and it doesn't feel right, but oh, I am here, I must just as well sit there. Guys, imagine if through self-knowledge and understanding, you can figure out where your seat is, where you are playing the violin in the orchestra of life. If you're a trumpet player, or if you must be on, imagine if you can start to know that. And you start to fit there and you can start to create reality from that point of view in your flow state. Oh my word, it will just flow from who you are as an individual by knowing yourself. And that creates, you won't believe me, happiness. Let's face it. Many people aren't happy. They are sitting in a situation or in a job or in a field of study that they are in. Say, you know what? If I'm honest with myself, I'm not happy. I feel stressed and there's so much pressure on me. Well, guys, I'm going to share something with you. Stress will never be less. You will always be stressed. That's it. People say that you must manage your stress, and it's something that I learned from Osang Guru. He said that you always manage something that is important to you. He couldn't figure out why are people managing stress. Is it important to you to stress? Is that the reason you're managing that? He said, but then he figured out that people think that life will get better if they just have something else. I said, oh, you know what? If I don't know what to study, if I figure out what to study, then I will have less stress. And now you're studying that, and now you have examinations, and now you have stress. I said, yeah, okay, if you are not married, that is stressful. And then you find a person and you get married. You think that's less stressful. Now you have stress. If you don't have children, oh, that is stressful. When you get children, oh my word, you want to pull your hair out of your head. That is even more stressful. If you don't have a job, oh, that is stressful. And now you have a job. Now that's even more stressful. Guys, stress is part of life. But if you do not know who you are as an individual, you will always try to go to the next level, to something better, to something higher, when you are actually just being who you are, having self-knowledge in the best state and in the best place that you can be. But if you're not aware of that, you'll always try to find happiness somewhere else. Let me share something that you will experience in this workshops from New Motivation as well. If you are not choosing to be happy as you are here and now, you will never be happy. So we can guide you to understand that happiness is not a place. Happiness is a choice. And if you do not choose happiness here and now, you will never be happy. So how can we assist you to realize and to become aware and to be in the realization that you are, through self-discovery, the person that you need to be? From there, yes, you can better yourself. Yes, you can flow and start to create realities. But if you are not happy with who you are, because the place that it can be found is here. And the moment that you start to realize that happiness is a choice and happiness is already created in your heart through self-discovery, through self-knowledge, you just unpack that. And that is what this is all about. To enroll into this, you will start to realize that the joy and the happiness and the peace that you are looking for is already there. We can just taking that from the root of where it is. I want to share something with you, if there's still a few minutes time there left, Neil, that happened to me when I was 12 years old. Because many people ask me, Mani, are you always so full of energy and happy as you are now? Yes, it can't be. It can't be. How is that possible? Easy answer. I choose it. What? I choose it. So do you ever have bad days? No. Really? No, I don't. And I want to help you to understand this. I only have days. Sometimes it is more challenging than other days. Sometimes there are things that happens that stirs up the emotion of joy in me. And sometimes there's people that cross my path that I really wish didn't cross my path that day. But I only have days. I choose how I give meaning to that. And sometimes there's more challenges than others. But I don't have bad days. And I also don't have good days. I only have days. And when I start to realize that I have, through self-knowledge, only have days, yes, there are some things that are challenging me. And then some people interpret that as a bad day. Yes, then there's some days that some wonderful things are happening. And then some people interpret that with good days. But I choose to give meaning to my day. And that is why I say that I am always choosing happiness, because it's a choice. Even going through the worst circumstances. Sometimes I need to look a little bit longer to find what I can be grateful for. But I choose that. And that's what we can teach you guys also to realize. You choose that day and you choose what's happening to be fully alive. When I was 12 years old, my father, that years, it was still a video, put in a video in the video machine from a psychologist, Leo Buscaglia. Now, he was a psychologist at a university there, and you guys know the university there from the psychology department, in the 1970s. And the video's name was Only You Can Make a Difference. Now, please, I am not a toxic positivity guy. Please don't give me toxic positivity. Like, yeah, oh, my dog died. Oh, don't worry, you still have your cat. No, I'm not that type of guy. Please don't give me toxic positivity. I choose happiness because of what I learned there. And he actually had this wonderful thing that he put in that video. And it was in the 1970s in America when they had the Vietnam. And he told the story that in that time, a lady whose husband was fighting the war in Vietnam in that time in the 1970s, she wrote a poem for her husband. And she put that poem on that psychology professor's table, Leo Buscaglia. And the poem's name is The Things You Didn't Do. Now, guys, imagine you are married one day and your wife gives you a paper and there is the subject is the things you didn't do. How would you feel? It's like, it's in the dog box tonight, the dog box. But I quickly want to share with you guys, because at the age of 12, that poem changed a lot of ways that I'm seeing life. And I want to share that with you with your permission. Leo Buscaglia, in his video, Only You Can Make a Difference, recited this poem that that lady wrote to her husband who was fighting the war in the 1970s in Vietnam. Things you didn't do. So I'm quickly, with your permission, just going to share that with you. She said, Remember the day that I borrowed your brand new car and dented it? I thought you'd kill me, but you didn't. And remember the time that I dragged you to the beach and you said it would rain? And it did. I thought you'd say, I told you so, but you didn't. And do you remember the time that I flirted with all the guys to make you jealous? And you were. I thought you'd leave me, but you didn't. And do you remember the time that I spilled strawberry pie all over your car rug? I thought you'd hit me, but you didn't. And remember the time that I forgot to tell you that the dance was formal and you showed up in jeans? I thought you'd drop me, but you didn't. Yes, there were lots of things you didn't do, but you put up with me and you loved me and you protected me. And there were lots of things I wanted to make up to you when you returned from Vietnam, but you didn't. And guys, at the age of 12, I realized that there is no such thing as a tomorrow. If you need to invest in yourself, you do it today. If you need to save, you do it today. If you need to go and buy that dress, you do it today. Because guys, you don't know what tomorrow holds. Yes, we can learn from the past and we can plan and dream for the future, and please do. But you live for the moment and you live for today. And that is what I want to instill and just implore with you guys. If there's a time that you need to invest in yourself and understand yourself and choose happiness, you can't wait, as Songbird says, you can't wait for a time to be better before you choose to be happy. And this is what we want to help you guys to understand. Enroll into this and be part of this, because it will help self-knowledge, your mental health, and with your happiness. It is such an honor spending time with you. Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Highly appreciate that. We've learned a lot. In regards to mental wellness, I just want us to just quickly watch a video, and after that video, we'll be good to go.
One life and one chance, and it is our responsibility to make the best out of our lives. Truth is, life is beautiful, but we often fail to see the beauty of life because of challenges we face. Many people end up being discouraged, and some experience mental illnesses like depression in the process. Depression is real, but happiness is also real. New Motivation Academy, in collaboration with Architecture Life Mental Healthcare Global Institute, offers the best mental wellness coaching program that will enable you to unlock your happiness and enjoy your life. The program focuses on 1. Helping you overcome your traumas, past, and dealing with life's challenges. 2. Spirituality, which is growth of one's sense of meaning in life. 3. Self-value, loving and appreciating yourself. 4. Emotional, being able to understand and cope with one's feelings. 5. Intellectual, expanding one's knowledge, skills, and creativity. 6. Physical, proper eating habits, exercise, and medical health. 7. Social, creating positive relationship with others. 8. Career, finding purpose and satisfaction in one's work. 9. Finances, growing and managing one's money. The program is online and you will have 2 sessions every week. The registration is 450 and the monthly fee is 700. The duration of the program is 10 months. To register for the program, go to our website and fill in the enrollment form. This is the best program to help you free your mind and transform your life.
Thank you very much for the video. Please note that with the golden key, there is a 30% discount. So it's not 700 Rand. It's 490 per month for the mental wellness. The self-discovery one is already paid for by the golden key. And please note the registration is not 450, it's 400. And these are the pictures that you can go through, will send to you as well, that has all the information of everything that you're going to do, everything about the program, how to register. And please feel free to also go to our WhatsApp, text us, call us, go on our website, any way in which you can have contact with us. So thank you very much for the presentations and for your time. We're going to open for the questions right now.
Yes, thank you very, very much. All of the presenters, it was a fantastic session. Just a few golden nuggets, Mani. I realized that with the attendees that if we don't look after ourselves, even though we have the best intentions, if we burn out, we really don't mean much to anyone that we want to help. Neo, you made a point that happiness is real. I think in the times that we live, we have to remind ourselves of that. Francois, we want to reevaluate our seats today. I think it was a good session for introspection. Mani, to get into that flow, I mean, if we do what we are passionate about, we will shine. And everybody around us will be happy like we are happy, and we will be more productive and make an impact, a lasting impact. So thank you so much to the presenters for their wonderful insights. The video was amazing. Golden Key members, 30% discount. It's a wonderful benefit. So please take your chance and change your life and find that flow state that the presenters were referring to. I'm going to the Q&A. I just want to check in the chat function I did see questions. I saw Montuli said that if you don't know who you are, then accomplishments are nothing. I hear you, Neo. That was a comment. And then I've got a question from Nay. How does one differentiate between who they are and the roles they play? And what criteria does one use to define who they are? I don't know which presenter would like to, maybe every presenter give their insights on that.
Mr. Money, you can go first.
Thank you so very much. I think through self-knowledge, you would start to realize who you are as a person. And then also, I think through experience, at a young age, it is so wonderful to try everything. And I would really like to implore also, when you are still young, do everything. Go on walks, and then you would see, well, fine, it's nice, but it doesn't resonate with me. So put yourself out there. Try to figure it out. I think also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's okay. Just don't do it twice. Okay. And some of us can learn from other people's faults. The rest of us have to be the other people. So if I may say, while you're still studying, go out there, try new things, watch TED Talks, see things, be part of places, and surround yourself with people who think great thoughts. So that's one thing that I would suggest, to figure out where you fit in, because sometimes we know more what we don't want, but we're not clear on what we do want. But in the process of finding out what we don't need and what we don't like, we start to align to what really stirs up that flow and that emotion with us. I don't know if you want to add something, Francois, Neil.
Okay. Mr. Francois, do you want to add something before I say something? Right. think I'll just continue because I cannot hear him properly. But in terms of one thing that we need to understand, that in terms of the roles, you will actually know, as Marty is saying, that you try out different things, right? But in terms of knowing who you are, this is where you actually discover what you are interested in, what you are good with, what are your gifts and talents. And then you actually choose your roles, but they come or they overflow from knowing who you are. So first you have to know who you are. And part of the activity of making that discovery is get involved with as many things as possible. And then from there, you'll see which ones resonate with you. And then that's how life is. You get to experience certain things first. And then you say, okay, this is not for me. Good. I thought this is for me, but it's not for me. So no. Oh, I kind of like this one. This one, I think I'm good in this area. Now you go with those things, right? Although life will never really give you the chance to try everything, but try what you can in the community that you are in, wherever you are. Just do what you can do. But the more you know yourself, the more you will understand the roles you need to fulfill.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. We should make a decision today not to just exist, but to live and to take that leap of faith. Thank you also for that scripture. I really appreciated that scripture that you read to us earlier. I think it was Proverbs 24. We should revisit that often. I have some comments from Montuli. As a man thinketh, so is he. Love this session. Thank you so much. Also finding our domain of purpose and function. Then I've got a question or a query from Petunia. They want to know how can one go about it if they want the presenters to share the info to the NPO? How would we be able to share this presentation? I know we've got a recording. I don't know if you've got slides, Neo. If you want slides that we can share with them, or the recording, Petunia, will be available on the Golden Key Academy within the next 48 hours. So you're welcome to email us at southafrica@goldenkey.org. But you can also visit the Golden Key Academy website. So all Golden Key members have free access to the Golden Key Academy website. Are there any other questions or last comments? I want to encourage the attendees to please fill in the survey while we are still in the session. The instructions are in the chat function. Any last comments from the attendees or from the presenters?
Neil, sorry, I think that you are still on mute. I think that's the biggest thing that people always say when they are on a video call. But from my side, if I might just say, it is such an honor and a privilege also spending time with you today. And thank you for making time once again to be part of this. Neo, Francois, you guys from Golden Key, what an honor. Thank you very much.
Yes, even from my side, I just want to say thank you very much. Really, really much that you've taken time to come and be part of this session, and also the Golden Key members. And the last thing I wanted to say is I remember when we were building the mental wellness program with the professionals, different professionals. We had professors, philosophers, psychologists, psychiatrists, and we were sitting down. And one thing they were saying all of them is that, one of the greatest challenges is we have people that come and we help them as psychologists, but they go back home, they go back to their reality, and they face the very same problem. And it looks like we don't have any progress as psychologists, as psychiatrists, because now they go back to the very same environment. And we need to build something that will actually give them the tools that when after the session with the psychologist, after the session with the professional help, when they go home, there's a program that will give them tools to say, okay, I know I had a bad financial state at home, but I've got some skills that I've learned in the program as well, while I was also getting help mentally. So I can apply the skills in my personal life to fix this problem. So this program is closing the gaps. I don't know where you come from. I don't know who you are, what you are doing, but there's something for you in this program. That's all I'll tell you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Francois, any last thoughts? We're struggling to hear you. I think it might be your Wi-Fi or maybe it's our connection. Let's just see. Let me check in the box here if I can assist with your mic there. It is on our side. I don't know if you want to maybe put something in the chat function. We would love to have your final comments. Apologies, it might be the bandwidth. While you do that, Francia, I'll give you a moment to do that. I just want to agree with the speakers and say your program is unique. And the reason why I say that is that it approaches the healing and the progress and the development of the individual in a very holistic way. I mean, you've covered all areas. It's not just medical or not just counseling or not just psychology. It's the whole platform. And I think that is fantastic and it's unique and it's dynamic and it's going to assist everyone that participates to develop personally and professionally. So I think it's a wonderful program. Well done. And I think it's maybe one of a kind. At this point in time, I haven't seen those areas being covered. Normally, it's one area at a time. Francia, are you putting something for us in the chat function? I see Louis says thank you. Amo says thank you. Imang says thank you. There's so many thank yous here. They absolutely enjoyed the session. Wonderful. Good. I don't see a response from Franco. I think his internet is lagging. But thank you, Neo, Mani, Franco. You are amazing. We look forward to networking with you further, inviting you for more webinars. Thank you, attendees from Golden Key, Southern Africa, everyone for joining this session. It was lovely having you. And you are welcome to have a fantastic afternoon. And remember, happiness comes from within and it's a choice. And with that, we say goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.